how did he and what he did on Monday nights influence what you did early and what you are doing now?
Well, I'm not a big fan of calling the Attitude Era. And what I mean when I say that is, Steve sort of touched on it already. The best things in the history of pro wrestling have always been about attitude. And the guys who have made it, you know, bust through a glass ceiling or made it to the top, whatever you want to call it, they were the ones who had the most attitude. They walk in a room, they command an audience. They, for whatever reason, were angry, were pissed off, knew what was good, and you know, whether they were stepping on toes and pissing people off, at the end of the day, the product was amazing, and they knew that what they were going to do was good for business. So, you know, that being said, he's the poster boy for that. Somebody who had been overlooked and not used to his potential, maybe kind of brushed aside for somebody else. You know, this isn't our guy. This guy over here, who, you know, he used to play football. We're gonna use him. Sorry, Steve. You have to sit down. It's not your turn. Eventually, just saying, you know what, the hell with it. I'm gonna do it, and just doing it. And to me, that's obviously what encompasses the Attitude Era. But I mean, that's the same thing I did. That's the same thing anybody who makes it to the top did. You know, you have your whole career and your whole life of people telling you no, 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 and you either start to believe it or you listen to them, or you get pissed off enough that you shove it up their ass and you prove them wrong. And if I took anything from Steve Austin, it was that. You know, I obviously don't lack confidence, but at the end of the day, I also know that what I'm going to do out there, whether it's going to make somebody in the back mad or if it's going to step on somebody's toes, you know, I know at the end of the day, it's the best thing for the business. And that's what I learned just from watching him and his attitude and the way he carried himself and produced and drew money and put asses in the seats and everything.
Can you pass that to Steve, please? Or one of the
Sure.
players? Please, thank you. And of course, so there's to the people in the audience, CM Punk figuratively meant shoving something up someone's rectum, not literally.
If you get me mad enough.
We're not doing any prison movies here.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think Miz just did a prison movie.
And he also did a film. Based on what CM Punk said, how much, or was percentage-wise, how many times, or the percentage that you go into business for yourself? When we saw you on TV, those of us that knew you knew what we were seeing, and I've always said the best wrestlers are the ones that are extensions of their own personality. You weren't really much different in real life, in my opinion, than you were on television. So how much did you just really go into business for yourself and call the proverbial ad lib once you got in the ring and you felt or heard? Because I know a lot of your instincts came from your hearing, even though you're half dead.
Man, you know, to me, you just go out there and you turn the volume up. Most of the time I like to operate about a 1 or 2. When you go out there and you got 20,000 people to entertain, you turn it up. And if you go into a competitive environment, going back to my football days, it's a killer instinct. You want to survive, you want to start, you want to dominate everything. You know, you got to get your opportunity. And when you don't get an opportunity and you have to make an opportunity, you got to go for it. So anytime I went out there, I always went out there to do business. But I knew business. I've been held back and frustrated for 7.5 years. I finally got fired. ECW picked me up. Paul Heyman kind of coached me up a little bit. I got a chance to see and feel and turn into a laser focus what I felt and was able to verbalize that. When I got the shot to come to WWE, they called me the ringmaster. A suck-ass gimmick. They put me with Ted DiBiase, who I love. He's one of my favorite workers of all time and a great promo, and he was my mouthpiece. I knew that wasn't going to last long. Couldn't sell out any arenas with it. You couldn't put it on a T-shirt. You couldn't market it. So I started thinking of stuff, and we came up with the Stone Cold idea. I pitched that thing to the office, and unceremoniously they started calling me Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I don't think anybody in the office got it. No one in the back got it. But I knew what I was doing, and I just had to start getting noticed. I had to have a few meetings with Vince in the parking lot, back in the day, we were trying to save a lot of money back in, and we'd go live one week, we shoot the next show that night, and we take it to post and put it on the next week. So we're live every other week. I noticed a lot of my lines are being taken out of that post show. So I saw Vince in the parking lot one day, and I said, "Hey Vince, I noticed you're editing a lot of my lines." I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "Well, Steve, quite frankly, you're starting to pop the people in the truck. You guys know if you're popping people in the truck, you can pop anybody." So I said, "Well, I'd appreciate it if you stop editing all my lines." So it was just a thing of trying to survive, trying to get a foot in, and then once I got a little bit of traction, blowing every son of a bitch off the road on the way to the top, and that was my mission. It wasn't necessarily going into business for myself, but it was being about me in a company setting, and not being satisfied with jerking the curtain, being the match after, the popcorn match after intermission. I've been there, I did it. Didn't want to do it my whole career, and I just had my sights set on a higher goal. So I just went out there, turned up the volume, and in this business, and I say this to the cats behind me, and even to see him over there on the edge, and he's not afraid to go out on a limb, but to the cats behind me, never be afraid to go out on a limb. I wasn't. They can always reel you in, but they can't push you out there any further. That's what I did.
That's good. One of the new features in this game is really involving spectacular moments and pivotal moments in WWE that this game is so vividly recreated. Maybe somebody would call them good God Almighty moments or something to that effect. But when somebody threw a barricade, the ring exploding, the physicality that we saw on the outside where humans would attack inanimate objects, falling from ladders. I still believe that people don't fall from ladders and then learn how to fall from ladders, but they do, and it hurts. You remember as a kid watching or even in your career, something you saw that we will see in this video game that would fit into that category of spectacular moment.
Well, as a kid, I fell off a lot of ladders, actually, JR. It's banned from quite a while.
Did you learn how to fall? Or did you still bust your ass?
I still bust my ass.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I think the spectacular moments thing is very important for the game. It's a great addition. You know, like Punk said earlier on, like everybody remembers the time when Foley took that fall off the cage, off the Hell in a Cell to the table. Like that was one of the most talking points, the biggest talking points of the year, and it will go down in WWE history forever. And there's been a lot of them, you know, especially what we saw with Big Show and Mark Henry breaking the ring. Destroying the pay-per-view for everybody else after that, and of course, I got myself was put through a wall by Mark Henry, which you know, it is what it is. Hurts like hell, but you know, it's one of those moments that just stand out in pay-per-views and WWE. So I think with the new addition to this game, with those moments, I think it's great. Adds to the game, adds to the feel, adds to the realism, and it just keeps up to date with television as well, with TV and pay-per-views, and it's more and more that feel of playing this game, playing WWE 13, it's just like watching the real thing. It's being more involved. I think it's great.
Next question, good answer too. Very good points. Dolph, you'll throw that down to Dolph or pass it, whatever you choose. One of the neat things about this video game is the audio. You know, the crowd noise, the commentary. Some of the commentary is going to be really good. Some of it may be challenging to listen to.
Vintage.
But Dolph, Steve was talking earlier about the crowd and calling audible. Sometimes you hear things you say, or you're in a match and you do a chain of moves, and the crowd reacts as if you hadn't expected that reaction. They just told you they like what you're doing. So as a performer in the ring, how does the ambiance, how does like tomorrow we're sold out at SummerSlam. That should be a hot crowd, early start. Hope everybody will be sober. Yeah. A little buzz maybe, but But how does that affect your work, the crowd noise? Audience.
That's the great thing about the WWE, especially as a fan, when people used to bring their signs, and now they're involved. They're there with us. They sometimes control the tempo of a match, control what's going on, and sometimes you have instincts that don't work, and you hear something happen in the crowd, and that's what's great about being a WWE superstar and actually playing the game and hearing the crowd. You actually feel what's going on, and when they feel for you, and someone like me who's a career bad guy and just does some pretty awesome stuff, and people start cheering you because they appreciate your hard work, and you hear that, and that changes your mindset, and that's the great thing about having a live Monday Night Raw, or being at a live event, or in this game where you can actually judge and think and use your instincts on what's coming next, because this crowd, you know what they want to see, and you want to give it to them, or in my case, take it away from them.
You know, this is what we're saying in a roundabout way, is this is a very smart video game. This is a very smart video game, and if you are a real devout fan, if you're a gamer in general, you're going to love that, but if you are an aficionado of the genre, then you're going to be challenged, and you're going to really enjoy the things that you're going to be able to do. AJ is the general manager on the flagship program, Monday Night Raw, and we know that in this video game you can create superstars. You can create traits and attire, movesets, and things like that. AJ announced, as we said earlier, as a downloadable character. She said DLC, and I had to look that up. Downloadable character in the video game, which is great for her, and congratulations to her. But a lot of folks don't know, AJ, you've been a fan all your life, and a video game player for a good part of it. Now you got a chance to enhance your own downloadable character. Have you given any thought to what you might want to add to your repertoire or to your attire, your moveset?
Besides exaggerated body measurements, you know, that's like that's the really fun part. I remember, I think I learned a lot of the names of moves and just a lot about the wrestling itself from creating my character when I was like 12 and just thinking like, oh, this is what I would like to do. And so, did you just say that was 2 years ago?
What?
Hey, remember I'm your boss, punk.
That's a right up. VW.
But I don't know. It's so much more in depth the past couple games, and I've played so many of them, Smackdown vs. Raw, and the new system. You know, it's just been so intricate and so real. And I actually did the THQ challenge, and I said I was going to drop that as many times as possible, and I won that at WrestleMania this year. So yeah, playing 3 matches. But so it's so much more realistic. It's kind of the game that you always want it to be. You know, people they get hurt and it shows, and they have, you know, different energy levels, and it's so real. And if you ever wanted to do this, it's like the closest you can get besides getting hurt in a ring. So I'm gonna just hopefully they make me look cool, and maybe I can just make her a little bit more generous.
I don't know if there's any enhancements involved, but maybe that's part of the new downloadable feature. I think maybe they could give Lawler bigger breasts and Cole bigger lips. Brodus.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How was that segue, brother?
Yes.
Creative freedom. We have a nemesis in this game who interrupted us today, said he was now a downloadable character in Damian Sandow. Not to be confused with Leaking Lanny Paco.
Genius, yes. They both.
He was very, I know he's a tough guy because there's like 108 out there today in the ring and he came out wearing a robe. As Punk so aptly pointed out. So now you get to compete with him on this video game. How is, you'll be able to play it yourself. So what's happening there? How long is that going to last?
Damian Sandow on a video game in the robe, same beard and everything, slick hair, those plugs. To be accurate, not you. Got a bit slick. I'm actually very excited about that because Damian's not really one for one-on-one confrontations we have seen. So in the video game, I can reach out and touch him right in front of me, and so I'm very excited about that. And you know, the ratings are right. You know, I should have a few points on them, so it should be a little bit easier. You know, sometimes the computer is a little ridiculous.
I hope they fixed that. Although upstairs when it was whooping on me, I got a little upset. But that's cool. You know, that's one of the things that I like about the game is that it's, yes, it has the Attitude Era, it has some of the greats, and sometimes some of the new kids on the block, we suffer in that department because the game is so full of those guys, and some of our newer competitors aren't on there. And this game looks like it's got just about everybody on there, which is really cool. So someone like Sandow, who I got issue with, beef, I can reach out and touch him whenever I want. 2 in the morning, I want to smack him, I'll just turn it on. So it's all good. I'm excited about it.
Largest roster ever. That's the one thing, too. It's the largest roster, gives you more opportunities to play the game. Naomi and Cameron are on the video game, too, for the first time. How do you guys feel about that? I think that's pretty neat. You guys haven't been around long, and you made the roster.
I mean, to be sitting here right now is like, it's crazy because I was actually the underdog, and Stone Cold himself.
Fired her, yeah.
He was the one who actually eliminated me first on Tough Enough. I have so much love for him, though. You know, it's definitely tough love, and I'm glad to be.
What did I tell you?
He did say I would definitely have a career with the WWE. So even though I was the first eliminated, I am the last one standing. It feels amazing. It's like Cloud 9, funktastic, funkalicious to be here. I would have never thought that I would be sitting right here and doing the video game. It's amazing. I've definitely come a long way and trying to prove myself, but I still have a very long way to go. Like, I definitely want to get in that ring and prove myself even more, and definitely say that I can say from the beginning of doing Tough Enough that it's been an amazing journey, but I still have a long way to go. But I'm glad to be sitting here, and hopefully you guys will see me doing even more. So, just want to say thank you, Stone Cold, because I'm here, and I plan on being here for a long time. I want to be the ultimate diva. Sometimes
the trip to Woodshed is good for everybody. Naomi, I know you can wrestle. I've seen you wrestle, and I think you're going to be a great star here. And you're getting a lot of exposure now with Cameron and the big man there, Brodus.
Thank you.
I knew your name. I was trying to give you something. I was trying to put you over. Oh, you're not used to it, I know. I'm trying to work with you here. Naomi, how's it feel? First video game.
Since I started my career here with the WWE, it's been a goal of mine to be on a video game, and the fact that this came so fast and it was a surprise for me has been a blessing, and I'm so excited, and I just hope there's more for me in the future for all of us, because it's definitely a journey and a ride that I'm enjoying every moment of.
Good deal. Are you happy that Dwight Howard's out of Orlando?
Oh, no!
Former Orlando dancer. When,
I just found out about that, and I'm so upset because I love Orlando.
That's all right.
Now I'm just here in LA.
The Lakers ain't got enough to take care of Oklahoma City anyway, so it doesn't matter. Hey, Steve, got a question for you. How's that segue? Little right, huh? Steve, how many of these select Austin 316 versions of the video game did you actually? You signed every one. There's no ponies, no stamps, no nothing. Because every time I called you, you were in a badass mood. How many did you sign?
Well, I'm still in a badass mood because I ain't done yet. I recently had a little work done on my left knee, so kind of got me sidelined. And THQ came up with this illustrious video game, and they called me and said, "Hey, how about signing some of these copies?" I said, "Well, okay, what kind of number are you thinking about?" And he said, "Well, what about 25,000? I started thinking about it, and I said, "Well, hell, you know, might as well make a buck or two sitting on my damn ass on my kitchen table. Got my air conditioner set on 67, got a heat wave going through LA. I can't work, so I'm making a dime sitting on my ass." Sounded like a good idea. They said, "Well, how about 10,000 more?" So we came to another agreement. I got 35,000 gimmicks to sign, and I'm about, where'd Bryce at? I think I got 32,000 of them signed. That's BS. I think I got about 5,000. I got a long ways to go, Jim. I got a long ways to go.
I got faith in you, though.
The good news is that Stone Cold Steve Austin in his glory on that damn card. And it ain't CM Punk's sorry ass on the cover that I got to sign and look at. So happy about that.
It's going to be interesting to see how the competition that goes. So you're saying that your signed copy should sell more than anything with CM Punk's image on it?
No, I'm not saying that. I think CM Punk is a hellacious talent. I'm just glad I'm signing me and not looking at him. Hey, and, you know, while we're talking about CM Punk and myself, on this video game, you can take someone from the current roster and plug them into that Attitude Era.
Right.
And in the back, I didn't know Mike Tyson was actually wrestling this thing until I saw it, and he was kicking the living crap out of me backstage. Well, someone was playing back here, but so you can dial up myself and CM Punk and watch that happen at any time, right?
Well, that you can, and in stipulations and Iron Mike, I did see Iron Mike putting a whooping on you earlier, and you did a good.
Yeah, we were talking about barbecue sauce as usual.
Yes.
Tyson was whipping my ass.
Barbecue sauce.
As usual. Well, let me ask this question. I get this a lot on Twitter at JRSBBQ. I follow tonight if you choose.
How is this guy not commentating every Monday Night Raw? I mean, seriously.
Well, you know, there is a lot of conjecture on online, right, and Twitter and things. I get them all the time. JR, is Stone Cold going to wrestle another match? I don't know. Ask him. He's at Steve Austin BSR, that little gimmick thing. But let me ask you, if you were to wrestle again, who would it be against?
Well, if I were to, I think that the match would be Stone Cold versus CM Punk. I mean, it's only natural. Everybody talks about how would CM Punk have done in the Attitude Era, and I don't know. I think it would have done just fine. I think he's done just fine in the current era that he's in. I think he'd have been a little bit more dialed up back in the Attitude Era, because I think he had to have a little bit more attitude than he possesses now. Could he get the job done? I don't know. But you can plug your summit in on this video game anytime you want to. And have that in your living room, but will we see it in an arena? I don't know. I've got a left wheel to rehab. But if that thing does get rehabbed, I got a hell of a drop kick waiting for CM Punk's
Well, it's good to know that if Stone Cold does come back to compete ever, that CM Punk is his destination, which I think we would all enjoy. We're going to wrap this thing up here real quickly. We have two men. We got two questions. I don't know why it's this way. Dolph, you got Chris Jericho tomorrow. He's been at 8 SummerSlams, according to my math, and that's a whole lot more than you have. And it seems like you have more to gain than he does. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely. Chris Jericho has proven himself over and over again for years, and I was a big fan of his growing up. One of the great moments was him being the Millennium Man and debuting on Monday Night Raw, and I jumped out of my seat and said, I knew that guy was coming. Like, that's so great. But speaking along the lines of CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin, people saying you got to go out there and make your own opportunities, and sometimes, you know, WWE's going to cut your hair and tell you to be boring and tell you to suck out there, and it's just not you. So you have to go out there and be yourself. And I have never felt more myself as the last few months. I feel like I'm in the peak of my career. I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm reaching out there for that brass ring and taking it every single Sunday, Monday, Friday. And I am looking for this to be my breakout moment. I've never been one-on-one in the ring with someone like Chris Jericho that's been a hero of mine. And I just know this is my time. We are going to tear down the house, and everybody knows that already. But that's not good enough for me. I need to go out there and prove myself, and I'm going to.
And best of luck to you. I mentioned to Dolph that I hope that he and Jericho went on first, because that would make everybody else have to get off their ass and follow. That's what you want. that's set the stage, set the pace. You can't wait. And final question is appropriately to the WWE champion. I'm a firm believer that slogans are good, and I've been blessed to be able to come up with a few, Texas Rattlesnake and Cerebral Assassin and a couple others. But really, the best in the world is a unique thing, but the best in the world is always, to me, the guy that's the WWE champion. That's how our business works, and that's the brand. The brand is represented always by one guy. You look back in our company's history at all the amazing athletes that have been the WWE champion, and it is a very impressive list. This man has been the champion for a long, long time, and it's in some rarefied air. There have been 22 title defenses at SummerSlam events, and there have been 5 title changes. So the odds would be in his favor that he's going to retain tomorrow. Unfortunately, the mathematics gets screwed a little bit because he is facing 2 men. One's 500 pounds, and the other is the poster boy of WWE, John Cena. So my question to you is, game plan? Is there a game plan, or are you just going to roll with it? How do you make sure you don't leave there without the title? That's just so I know it's important to you. I know it's very important.
Yeah, to me, this title is the most important thing in the world. And walking into SummerSlam, I think I'm batting about 500. I've been the main event of SummerSlam in the Staples Center before. It's been sold out before, and I rise to the occasion. Beat Jeff Hardy. I think this match is interesting for me because I'm facing both my prior SummerSlam opponents. 2 years ago, fought Big Show. Last year, I fought John Cena. So to me, I got obviously the most to prove. In a 3-way, you gotta hate him. You can't really have an attack plan. I could focus on Big Show, and then I got John Cena to worry about. I could worry about John Cena, and then Big Show's trying to punch me in the face. So what I'm going to do is do what I do best, and I'm going to go out there, and no matter where I'm at on the card, you can be first, that's your main event. I could be 5th, that's your main event. I could go on last, that's your main event. At the end of the night, I'm walking out WWE champion because that's exactly what I am. I am the best in the world. I am the WWE champion, and nobody can take that away from me. And I truly believe that. And I'm going to hold on to this thing until Royal Rumble. And then when Rock decides to come back to work, when he's done filming his stupid little movies, it's not funny, He's gonna film his little movie, and he better look at that as a vacation, because when he comes back here, I'm not John Cena. I'm not looking at it as this is what's best for business. I'm gonna look at this as this is him getting a rude awakening and coming back and realizing this isn't his home anymore. This is my home. And you don't come into my home and disrespect me. I will be the champion at the end of SummerSlam. It's by any means necessary, honestly.
I like it. I like the attitude. We have a hell of a performance tomorrow. That's the thing about this video game. There's so many options, the biggest